Welcome, my A2Y audience. I have returned. You need to tune in to the Spotify and podcast edition of the show, in which me and Caleb detail our leave of absence and why we took it. I'll just give you a brief reasoning. The playoffs went a lot longer than I expected for the MVHS football team, I gotta say. And I'm really glad they did. We won the state championship 4A in Indiana. Being a part of that team was one of the greatest experiences I've had in my life so far. I think it's definitely in the top 5, running onto that field and getting the medal. And I'm really excited to get the ring for it in the next few coming weeks here. But I'm back where I feel I belong, here in this studio, talking to each and every one of you guys about what I think God has a message for you. And I'm really excited to be back. I'm just kind of bouncing off the walls here. I'm just really pumped to be back, and I'm pumped to give this message. You got to tune in, like I said, on Spotify and wherever you get your podcasts. Me and Caleb really lit it up in the first appearance of us being back. He has some really funny stories about his college experience so far, and I've got to say it's very interesting, very unexpected turns, and he's also doing really well. You should tune into that. But I am back here with a message for you. It's a bit different. If you watched from previous A2Y scripts here that I do, it's a little more out there. It's a little different. It's a little bit more aggressive, if I do say so myself. I wrote it in a bit different mindset than I have been in previous scripts. It's not as peaceful. It's a little more out there, like I said. But I think it has a good message, and you'll just have to be the judge of if it is or if it isn't. And the script this week is about having a perfect life. Perfect life. And I got the inspiration from this from a song from one of my favorite bands, Red. Check them out. They're amazing. Very underrated. But they have this song, and they released it as a single and a remix that's also fantastic. And it's called Perfect Life, as you might guess. And here's the main verse from the song. You want a perfect, perfect life. Nothing wrong, nothing real inside. All I see is a perfect lie. I don't want your perfect life. Goes on to say, paint it on, cover every inch, any flaw will expose your weakness. I'm immune to your fantasy, I won't become you. So, we'll get back to that a little bit, but now I ask, do you desire a perfect life? Do you desire perfection in your life? And I ask you, do you really think that that's where you need to be heading in your life? Perfection. Now, what that means? You have a perfect job. Probably means you have the perfect partner. And you have anything else you desire, it'll be perfect. Now, I ask you, is that a feasible goal here in 2021? I'm here to tell you that I believe, according to my readings and my research, according to what I think the Bible says, that's impossible. The moment Adam and Eve ate of the forbidden fruit, all perfection was gone. And there's only been one role model of perfection in this world, and that was Jesus himself. And the Bible says all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God, meaning that all have failed the perfection that Jesus demonstrated here on this earth when he was here. We've all failed perfection then. So, what does that mean now, Addison, you ask? Well, I'm asking something different, mind you. A little different than chasing a perfect life. There was a coach out in California at De La Salle High School, Coach Bob Ladouceur. And he wouldn't ask his players to have perfection on the field. He would ask them to have perfect effort on the field. Now keep in mind, this is one of the greatest coaches in history, probably. He's the one who had the 151 winning streak. Yes, they won 151 games in a row. It's insane when you think about it. Can you imagine winning 151 times in a row? At that point, you forget how to lose. There were people who went their freshman year and senior year multiple times, and multiple of them never lost a game. But I think losing is what makes the winning all the better. I can tell you, from my experience, the state win actually wasn't the greatest feeling I had during my football career. The win 2 games before that was my junior year. We faced this team, a local team from here, and they beat us after we had beat them the year before. And it was the most painful loss I've ever experienced. It hurt so bad. I couldn't fathom it. And then this year, we redeemed ourselves and we won. And we won by the way they beat us last year. By running the ball. So we ran the ball at them and we came out victorious, and that was the best one I've experienced. That, to me, was far better than the state win itself. Because I had known exactly how much it hurt to lose that game. I knew how much it hurt. I could still remember the feeling in my heart when I watched that clock hit 0 and we were on the losing side of that. So to win against them at our home field was way better than winning state, in my opinion. Because we had that pain of losing in our mind. And honestly, now I wouldn't have it any other way. I wouldn't want the perfect season that we would have had if we hadn't lost to them. Because I think that this win and the state win that we had this year was so much better because we had losses in that season. And we remembered the loss to the team before in the previous year. I'm glad we didn't have a perfect season because I think that's what made us what we were. So I ask, do you really want a perfect life? And I know many of you are thinking, ugh, this idiot. Of course I want a perfect life. But really? You think you're going to be able to achieve that perfect job? Perfect family? I don't think it's possible. But I think if you know what God's calling you to do in your life, and you chase that, and you give perfect effort for it, I think you'll achieve great things. Scratch that. I know you will achieve great things. May not to be what you exactly desired. That season didn't go exactly how I desired. I would have loved to start in the state game, but I didn't. And not starting is what gave me the tools to do what I'm doing now. And it's given me so many life lessons I'm going to cherish and remember forever. I'm glad for that experience. I truly am. So, go pour your heart and soul into the thing that you really do think God's calling you to. Whether it's being a gym rat, or chasing your relationship that you think He's calling you, or chasing the job, or applying to the colleges that you know He wants you to go to. Those are the things I want you to put perfect effort into. And those are the things I think will give you the closest perfection you'll get in this life, because you'll never achieve true perfection. God calls us to be as close as we can. To model our lives based on what Christ did on this earth. And to chase that with everything we have. I think that's what He's called. I truly do. See, nothing's perfect. My tech is failing me. So I ask you, do you want a perfect life? A perfect life? With nothing wrong and nothing real inside? Because in the end, all I see is a perfect lie. I know I don't want your perfect life. Thank you for tuning in this week. We'll be back next week, hopefully. Definitely the week after that with more A2Y. And I'll check you out next time.